Hey y'all, we're going to go ahead and make some rice ball casserole. So what I did was I took 2 cups of rice that I went ahead and cooked in 4 cups of water with 1 teaspoon of salt. And I just used my rice cooker. And we're going to go ahead and put 1 stick of butter in here. And we're going to mix this around until the butter has melted. And then once we do that, then we're going to add a little bit of cheese in here. Now I'm going to add in 1 cup of Italian style cheese. And we're going to add in some pepper. And we're going to mix this all together. And you want to go ahead and grease a 9x13 baking dish. And we're going to spread this on the bottom of a greased 9x13 baking dish. Once we get all this stirred together. If everybody can like and share, that would be greatly appreciated. I have family cookbooks that are available. I'll put the link above and below and shows you ways you can order that. If you're on YouTube, you can follow us on Facebook, and if you're on Facebook, you can follow us on YouTube. So I have this grease. We're going to take half of our rice mixture and we're going to layer it on the bottom, and then you're going to save the other half for another layer. So go ahead and spread it all out. Let's get a little bit more. And just spread it out. Now you want to take 1/4 cup of Italian style breadcrumbs and sprinkle it over top of your rice. You can set this to the side, and you're going to need a pound of either ground beef or a pound of beef and pork mix. I'm going to use beef and pork mix because I have that on hand, and we're going to start browning that up. Alright y'all, so I got a pound of ground meat in here, and again I'm using it's pork and beef mix. You can use all pork, you can use all beef, whatever you want to do. I'm using about a teaspoon of bacon up. And we're going to fry our meat up. Let's go ahead and get our heat on. And then we are going to drain any excess fat that's in there. So it is no longer pink, so we're going to go ahead and drain this. And we're going to set our meat to the side, and you're going to need 3 medium onions that are diced. Alright y'all, now you need 1/4 cup of either olive oil, or I'm using bacon up. So let's go ahead and get that in here. And you're going to need, again, 3 onions that are chopped up. So let's get this all heated. Y'all, let's go ahead and add in our onions in here. And we're going to cook these until they are translucent, nice and clear. So they're going to take a little bit. So let them cook down. Y'all, let's go ahead and add in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. And let this cook for another minute or 2. Now you need 1 tablespoon of sugar. And you're going to go ahead and throw that in there. And then you're going to need 2 tomato paste. And we're going to go ahead and toss that in here as well. Okay, let's get our second can in here. And then we're going to need 3 cans of water that we're going to put in here. So save your tomato cans, because we're going to top those off with water in just a second. And we're going to fill them up with water. And we're going to need 3 cans of water. Okay. And then we just need 1 more. Alright. Then you need a can of peas that you have drained. We're going to throw that in here. Stir that up, and then you want to put your meat back in here as well. Go ahead and add our meat back in here. And then we're going to add some salt and pepper. And then we're going to let this simmer for about 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and mix this all up and let it simmer for just a little bit to let everything get heated and the flavors come together. Alright y'all, now you're going to need some pecorino romano cheese, a half a cup. I'm going to go ahead and put this in there, turn the heat off, and give it a stir, and just leave it be. Alright, now we're going to take some of our sauce, about 4 cups of it, and put it over top of our breadcrumbs and rice. And you can use the whole thing if you would like, and just spread it out. And then you're going to need a 1/4 cup more of breadcrumbs to put over top. So we got here. And then we're going to put our rice down, which is the rest of our rice. Alright, so I got the rest of the rice down here. Now you're going to need some mozzarella. And if you can, you want to shred your own. You want at least about 2 cups. And you want to go ahead and lay it over top of the rest of your rice. Let's get that all on here. Spread that out. Now you need some marinara sauce, and you just want to sprinkle that, and that's just a jar marinara. If you have homemade, you can go ahead and use that as well, but this little jar is the perfect amount, and this is a 16.25 ounce. Now you want to put another 2 cups of mozzarella on top and sprinkle that around. It just melts better if you shred it yourself. It's also stickier though. So so then you want to sprinkle it with more of the pecorino romano. And if you had a rice ball before, which it's an Italian dish, you've had something very similar, except for they're rolled and they're fried. So the next thing you want to do is get some ragazza, and we're just going to scoop it out on top. We're going to plop it down, and we're just going to use a 15-ounce container, and we're just going to plop it across the top, and we're going to sprinkle it with some parsley. If you have fresh parsley, that works great too. And then we're going to put this in the oven. And then we're just going to take some parsley and shake it across the top. And we're going to put this at 350 degrees, and we are going to cook this for 45 minutes. So I will see you back here in about 45 minutes. Alright y'all, it is all done. It was in there for 45 minutes. So please remember to like and share. I hope everybody gives this a try. Remember, I have the family cookbooks. I will put the link above and below, and it tells you ways you can order those. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day.